All right. So we are live. Welcome to DC Fine Art, where today we are going to be working and continuing on the skunk and flower picture that we worked on. Not next week because I had a lot of things going next week. Definitely a family thing. But don't worry, everything's okay. So, yay. But we're going to continue working on this skunk and the little flowers. I know I've been staring at them for a while now, and I've been kind of thinking, okay, I need to draw some more flowers in here, kind of get them going, and try and spruce them up a little bit, because for some reason going into it, and you may end up feeling like this too, so this is going to be a lesson too for if you're doing an art piece, and let's just say like this skunk. I went ahead and thought, I want flowers, and I want this little skunk. Didn't even dawn on me until after I started working on it that it was like off of Bambi. You know, you think of flower as a little skunk, but it didn't really dawn on me, but might as well. So I just kind of thought of it. I thought it was kind of cute. But have you ever been in this situation where you've done a piece, you're like thinking, okay, I'm going to do this and I'm going to put this with it. And then whenever you start working on it, you're just not really inspired by it. You just don't feel like you're very motivated in that piece. And you kind of feel like, okay, maybe I picked a bad choice, or maybe it's just not coming out as great as what I thought I was going to go with. The only lesson on this is that, like, I had that feeling too when working on this piece. Just keep working with it. Just keep working with it. Even if it looks like it's, you know, going to turn out, you know, not so good, just keep working on it anyway. And the reason why I say that is it may not be like, it may end up being the best piece you've ever done. I mean, you just never know. You just got to keep working with it. So this is a key thing on this one, because I know I look at them and I'm like, oh my God, seriously, I thought of a skunk with flowers. At what time? I mean, we're in October. Couldn't I think of something different to do with ink? But no, I picked a skunk with flowers. So I'm going to continue working on this skunk with flowers. Well, hopefully we can get this done on this live stream. So that way we can move on to the next live stream, which I want to do like a mixed media, something mixed media. And that would be the next thing, because we did take a quiz. If any of you guys are new, we did take a quiz on, or a vote. I don't know if it's really a quiz, but just to see what kind of medium everybody wanted to work with. And I have to learn where my camera is. I keep on looking away. And the first one was oil pastel, so we did an oil pastel piece. The next ones were two ties. It was ink, and then the other one was a mixed media piece. So we're going to do ink, and then hopefully next week we'll do a mixed media, even if we don't completely complete this one. Hey, PC Back Art, I made it. Awesome, glad to have you here, yay. So yeah, we're going to be working on the skunk. But even if I don't complete this all, because it is very, very time consuming, especially whenever you see what I just did to it, I added some whole bunch of more flowers to it. So it may end up taking longer on this piece to try and complete. And yeah, we'll try and do our best this time. So let me go ahead and switch the camera over to where you guys can see my live work. Let's see here. All right, so we got our 3 screens up. And we've got the skunk. As you can see, I started just drawing in random flowers in here. It really doesn't have to be much. I ended up taking a pencil, a water-soluble pencil, so that way, oh, Mike, me too. Awesome, good. This is gonna be a good live stream with you guys here. So yeah, I went ahead and drew these in with a water-soluble pencil, so that way, if we use the ink, it will wash away once we start using it. So let's go ahead and jump on into it. I'm going to start actually using more of my ink brush pens on this piece instead of using like my actual ink with the brushes. You could do it either way, but just for time, I'm just going to kind of go over these with a different colors. There is no reference photo for the flowers, so just to let you know, I was kind of looking at a reference photo for this one here, just a little bit, but then I just went ahead and just started drawing in random flowers. There's really no rhyme and reason to it, just something to fill it in. So I want to go ahead and start on some of these flowers so that way you can see I'm using the Faber Castell Pitt Artist Pen brush pen, and the paper is the, hold on, I should have known better for last time to show you guys this, but I am using the Strathmore Bristol Smooth paper. Now I do like this paper for ink. I have used it for my It's Corn picture that I absolutely love, and it held up really nicely with my inks. So this is the paper that I am using. So let's go ahead and get this started. I want to start working, and I know I usually have my brush or my, probably should put them on. Let me get my gloves. Hold on one second. Yeah, maybe. There they are. Since I am working upright, and I don't want to get the oils of my skin all over it. I hope I don't have no soft pastels, but I'll wear a glove. Or you could end up, if you don't have a glove, just use some glassine and just tape it down on your board. I have done that before. But I'm just taking this brush pen and we're just going to make a mark, or like this leaf viney mark. I always say to try and start out lighter so that way you can darken it up. So I'm just going to kind of fill in some of these leaves. Like I said, there is no reference photo on these. These are just freehand, just drawing some leaves, drawing some kind of like a filler. And if you hear noises, I don't know if that's like outside noises, like somebody talking while on a motorcycle. I don't know. It's kind of weird sound. Yeah, it's a motorcycles. Or it could be four-wheelers. I don't know. Sounds really busy out there right now. Oops. Let's see if I got a lighter color, like a lighter green. Like I said, these are just going to be fillers, just to have something to go and kind of fill these in. I like these Pitt Artist Pens, like brush pens. They're almost like using markers in a way, but these are water-based ink pens, so they are light fast compared to using the alcohol markers that are not light fast that you can make prints from. So I put some lighter green in there. I could actually do a splash of some yellow. Actually, I don't even think this is a yellow. Light yellow glaze, yeah, it's a yellow. And if you're needing some of this pencil, like since I used a water soluble pencil, I could easily go over it with water just to kind of take it off, like with a water brush or something, and just kind of take it off if you got some of the pencil marks that go outside. So let's take some of this darker green here. This is a, yeah, it's a darker green. So I kind of get underneath some of these leaves where the shadow would be. And since we're dealing with a lot of these markers, or not markers, my goodness, now I'm calling them markers. Oh my gosh, these Pitt Artist Pens, they're still ink. But I like to work with them because it just makes it just seem a little bit more controllable. I think I used that one already. Let's see here. There's so many greens in these too, so it's like, okay. I like doing splashes of some of these colors, just kind of a mixture of a splash. Doing up where it would be more of a shadow in those areas. Now this one here is called Permanent Green Olive, which is really pretty. If I would stop shaking. Having that issue. But I like throwing in these colors. If I need to darken it up, I can. Just want to start filling them in with a lighter green. Want to be careful there because I got my little cute little flower there. I'll do more of a lighter green there. And now I'm going to make some little bitty details, just some little lines in here. And I may want to add some dark. I thought I had a darker color green than this, but I guess I don't. Let's see here, where's that permanent olive green? This seems to be so much more richer. And some little shadow in here. Okay. So that's looking pretty good. I'm taking a somewhat of a shade darker in there. It just seems a little bit light. So I'm going to darken that leaf up just a little bit. Maybe some in this area right in here. PC back art, what's the pounds on the paper? Okay, that one there is, let's see here, it's 20 sheets and it's 100-pound paper. So it's 100-pound, and it was actually, yeah, because the other one I used was e-paper. So it's actually pretty thick. Oh, look at there. I got some marks on it too. So I used some of these as swatches too from before, but it really does nicely. It isn't like, I mean, it takes a little bit more to be able to try and eat through your paper. I mean, I use that quite a bit on here, and it's, as you can tell, it's not even, it hasn't hurt the paper one bit. Like, I seriously like it. And then on the other side, of course, there's no bleed through. That there was just me mixing some colors for my It's Corn. And so I was kind of mixing up some different colors for the green, trying to make it like for the leaf, kind of a faded old but aged look. But yeah, it doesn't even bleed through. It does super, super nicely. So I really do like this. I actually like this more than I do the B marker paper that I got. And it is the Bristol Smooth by Strathmore. You get 20 sheets, and this is 11 by 14, 100 pound. So yeah, I do like it. Not like the other paper that like started to disintegrate on me as soon as I tried to do a swatch on it. That was very, very, that was sad. That was really sad. Okay, so I got those greens in there. I'm gonna go ahead and start, I should just go ahead and just put in some of these other greens in here, but sometimes I like to do the flower first. It'll be alright. I'm just stick some of them in there. See, there's going to be a shadow in there. Some green. I added quite a bit of flowers in here. I think this is my, yeah, this is more of my darker type of green here. So definitely want to start out on the base on these with the darker green where the shadow would be. So yeah, that looks about right. If there's any more green, I can always stick them in there. But as far as I can see, I need to start aiming for these yellows that we got here. So I'm going to start taking some of my yellows out of my pens here. You're welcome, BC Back Art. I was like, hold on. So the colors that I have in my yellows, hoping that I don't have two. I have a dark cadmium yellow. I know there's a dark chrome yellow, a light yellow glaze, a cadmium yellow, and a green gold, which sometimes I like to do these if you have a little bit of a shadow going on in there. I'm like looking at my hair. I'm having a terrible hair day today too. You guys probably don't even care, but I'm like looking at my hair thinking, oh my god. Now, some of these pencil, as I can see, will start to dissolve, and it may end up mixing a little bit with your yellow, but it's okay because we can always go on top of it once it dries. Let's put some of this rich yellow in there. Here I go again, making up my own names, a rich yellow. Some of this cadmium, what is it? Dark chrome yellow. Just kind of give it a little bit of a shadow. And then we can always see what it looks like. If you need to add a little bit of white to it, we could do like little whites and then go over it with a brighter yellow, so that way, and once that dries, to kind of give it more of a brighter look. Yeah, because this does disintegrate, kind of adds a little bit of a darker look to it. It's okay. Let me try and clean off some of that. And that was the green gold. Some of the yellow. let's go ahead and add in some of this here. This is going to be a little bit darker shadow. And let's go ahead and show you what that is whenever I say, because I think this one here is, might be a little bit dry. So I'll take like the white and I'll put some of the white in here where I want it to be like a little bit brighter. I let that dry. Let's put it in here too. Let that dry, and then I can go over it with a little bit brighter yellow. This is like more of a limey color, light yellow glaze. And then I'm going over it with a dark cadmium yellow. And then I'll take one of my dark chrome yellows. Kind of go around underneath of the flower where it'd be darker. I'm going to make that a little bit darker anyway. Kind of doing this a little bit looser. Just not worried about too much on detail on this one here. I mean, as far as like going, I don't even know how to put that. I don't want to go too maybe not too hyper realistic or something like that, I guess you would call it. Okay, I may need to let that dry because you can put so many layers down before you start actually working and eating up the paper. So you definitely don't want to just keep rubbing and rubbing and rubbing and rubbing on the same spot. You can actually add quite a bit of layers on this and not even hurt. Like this here is perfectly fine, but you don't want to keep going on it with it wet. You want to wait until it kind of dries, and then you can add, you know, a second layer to it like this. And I'm putting white on top of the white that I've already put. Let that dry. So you can put it in there. Put some in there, maybe a little spot. We'll do a little bit in here. There. And we'll just keep going with some of these spots. The little pollen center. The little yellow in the middle of the flower. I don't know why I'm calling them spots. We're doing these spots here. Some of the darker color, green gold. Green gold is usually the darkest color yellow that I have, and then I work on a still on the shade lighter than that, going from darkest, the green gold, then to dark chrome yellow, and then the next one is cadmium yellow, and then of course I got my other lighter yellows here, like the dark cadmium yellow and the light yellow glaze. So those are my two lightest ones. But yeah, whenever I go after my darker ones, I'm either going to choose these two. So, and I'm just going to hold these in my hand and I'm just going to work back and forth because I get so many of these flowers to do that You could literally spend a lot of time on this if you guys wanted to. And the more time you put into your work also, like if you just take your time and put your time into it, it's going to look really good. You're going to make it look more realistic, and more the realism the longer you spend on your flowers. Like the longer you spend on any artwork in general, the longer you spend on it, the more it's going to look more and more realistic. But like with if you go a little bit quicker with it, a little bit more looser, you can still have that more realistic look, but it's not going to be like going into like, you know, I can tell the difference between a painting or did you just take a picture of something and then put it up there and say you did it. Right, paper needs time to dry before adding another layer. That's exactly right. PC Back Art, don't you work with a lot of ink too. I think I seen you on one of your YouTube. PC Back Art also has a YouTube site. So I've seen some of your artwork. It looks amazing. And I know you do some ink there too. Yeah, I've done a few pieces with ink. I think, trying to remember all the ones I've done with ink. I have on here the corn. I did that one in ink. And then trying to think what other ones I did with ink without doing like a mixed media ink piece. I haven't spent a lot of time with the ink. I call it animated realism. There we go. Perfect. Yes. That's what I like. I like that. That is exactly it. Animated realism. Ooh, that's too dark. We'll stick with this one. Now I'm just going to put this little bit of hint of lighter yellow on top of there. It almost looks like a green yellow. Not for sure if I like that as much as some of these. No, I like that one better. Just seems a little bit more brighter. And that's the cadmium yellow. Okay. That looks good. I like that. If I need to, I can always come back and add a little spot there of some white, just to kind of give it that lighter little highlight. So now I'm going to work on some of these flowers, and in all reality, you could basically do any color you want. I'm going to start with doing like more of a lighter blue kind of flowers in here, so that way we kind of mix them up, add some different colors. So, oops. I don't shake everything and knock everything down here. So I'm going to start out with my lightest blue and just kind of work around the edges of this flower. And then I'm going to do like a little smidge in between. So I'm going to go around the edges, and then I'm going to make a little mark going in. Going all the way around, make a little mark. So that's going to be one for my blue. I'm going to make this one here blue also, so I'm going to do the same thing, except that I'm just going to come in and around the flower, around the edges, right through here. So these two are going to be the same. Let's make those some different colors there. Let's make this one here a blue also. So I'm going to come around, go around the edges here. Now remember, I'm working from a lighter blue right now. It's kind of mixing in with some of that graphite. That is fine. I'm not too worried about that. And I used it for that reason. It's because I really didn't feel like erasing and spending my time erasing every single line that I've drawn on here. So there we go. We'll make that a blue. And that blue that I used was a light indigo. You just look at it and I see light blue. Easy back arc. I also need to create a watermark to protect my art from thieves. Yeah, then I'll be able to post my work. Okay, awesome. You know what? I had an app. I wonder if I still have it on this phone. It's probably on the phone that's dead. Yeah. There was one that I used and it was like a free, app that I could use on my phone. And if I was to post like my artwork somewhere where, you know, I was afraid that it could be, you know, took and copyrighted, it was like a free one that you can get online, and you can just post your picture and then put your name, like I just put DC and then fine art, and I can make it kind of lighter to where you can't really see it like in your face, but you can definitely tell that it's there written across it. Oh my god, I can't even think of the name of that. I can't even remember the name to it, but I did use that. And then if I'm posting it, if I'm posting my artwork on, like, let's just say my website, I think with that one there too, there is also, there's another free app you can use that I downloaded on my computer that literally it can do the like a cursive or whatever it is, DC fine art, and then I can have it where I lighten it and then put it either on one side or the other side of my artwork. That's what you want to do. Yep. So there's some free ones out there. I think the only ones that you have to pay for is if you were to use those free ones. It works fine as long as you just type in what you need, and then you can do that. The only time it ever tells you to charge you for something is if you're wanting to download your own logo, logo or something, which I haven't done that. I'm like, I don't know if I really want to do that. I mean, just using my name is fine, or the DC fine art. So here I am. I'm gonna put some blue in here. This is gonna be a nice little blue, and I'm just kind of edging kind of around some of this lighter blue that I put in there. Now I'm not just trying to fill it all in, I'm just doing some little squiggles in there, kind of going around that edge. Let's do it right here, kind of squiggling around. Not trying to be perfect or anything there. Because flowers can really, unless you're like wanting your flower to be a specific type of flower that you have a reference photo for, but these I just kind of made up. Alright, and so I took that one. Now I'm going to go, that one right there, by the way, was the ultramarine. And let's go ahead and go a little bit lighter. This one here is called Sky Blue. Okay, so let's take the Sky Blue. Now I just definitely want to be careful with this. If you end up going over it like too many times, it will darken. But if you're wanting it to be lighter, try and get it to where you're just hitting it once. If you go over it twice, then it will darken. And I want it to be lighter. these edges right in here. I want to try and get those, and this is still a sky blue. I want to get those right around the edges here. I just want to put some marks in there. No, my nose is like in the paper. I feel like I need to change my contacts. I feel like I'm going blind. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get, this is phthalo blue. Let's see how dark this is for a shadow. Oh, it's a very rich blue. That may not be the color I want. We have a word I cannot pronounce. It's like Indian, I don't know what it says. Indonetherium blue or something like that. Let's try it for a shadow. That looks much better. And I just kind of threw bits and pieces in there. Now, here comes the fun part. I love using white. This is my, okay. Also, I don't know if I got a soft brush on it. Nope, I don't. You can get these, like brushes, like you can do with either the brush pen, chisel. This one here is a chisel tip. And you can also get a 1.5 in it, which is just like a little nib. But I like, sometimes they used to have, or they'll have like the soft SB, like instead of just brush, they'll have a soft brush in it. And I really do like the soft brush, but I don't have one in the white, like a soft brush in the white. So I'm not quite for sure if they make a soft brush in the white, if they might, but I just don't have it. Usually I try and get all what I can. I'm going to go over this now with a white. I'm not going to go over all of the areas, but I definitely want to make this just a little bit more lighter around the edges. It still shows through, it just lightens it up. There we go. Here's my pretty flower. Because otherwise it looks just a little bit too dark. So if you ever need to lighten something up a little bit because it's just a little bit too dark, use your white. Like that. If you're needing to lighten it up just a little bit more, you can always just wait until it dries and then go back over the areas that you want lightened out. But this has definitely turned it into a lighter blue like I want, not so much of a dark grayish blue or an indigo blue, but it definitely lightened up my flowers. There we go. So now I got my lighter blue flowers in here. So I'm going to move on to a different one. So let's do purple. I don't really have a lot of purple. I think the only ones I've got basically is what we used on this one here, except I don't think I ever took out my purple violet. I got purple violet, lilac, and then a crimson. Let me see what the crimson looks like. That may end up looking not what I'm wanting. Nope, it's still fine. That's still got a beautiful purple tone to it, so that will look fine. Let's go ahead and do the lilac, which I shouldn't go over the white and yellow there, but those still are very nicely together. And then a darker purple, which should look great with the, oops, there it goes. Great with the, like for a shadow. So those can go together. So I'm going to be holding on to these three. Basically, I got my lightest, light, medium, dark. I like to go in threes, at least from steps. So I'm going to go ahead and make these here. I know these are really close to this. So I'm going to make this one here, this purpley color. So we got this one that kind of goes along with that. And then we'll end up moving to possibly this one here. Maybe not. Those might actually look good as blues or the little peaches. So let's make one more, possibly even that one there, these colors. I'm trying to get it away from this other color here so where it doesn't totally mesh in together. Kind of spread them out a little bit. So I'm going to take my lighter color and just do the same kind of concept as I did with the blue. Go around. We really need to work on the skunk too. Gosh, Lee. Just now thought of that. I'm like, oh my God. I've been working on flowers this whole time. But it just takes a while to do. Unless you guys don't mind, we can actually do this on the next one. I just want to know if everybody sounds like a plan, yeah. So if everybody feels like they like this and they want to see me finish off the skunk or finish off the whole painting in general, then we can do this on the next live stream instead of doing the mixed media, and we can wait on the mixed media. I hate doing that if people are not wanting to do that. I don't know. I'd really like to finish this piece because it just feels weird if I don't finish a piece. Like, I have to finish the piece. I just also don't want anybody to be like, okay, I was really looking forward to seeing something different. And then I'm doing this nice, beautiful color in here. Kind of going around some of this lighter area that I've done. Flowers are not always perfect. Okay, now I'm going to take my lightest color again and just kind of fill it in. Seems like that yellow doesn't seem really yellow. I'm going to take some of my white. Ooh, there's some, looks like I used this color on a red or something. Let me get that off of there. Okay. Do some little dabs there. Kind of add some texture. Just needs something. Okay. I'm going to come back and use some of the shadows, like the darker purple as a shadowy area. And then, for the fun part, is that I'm going to take this little brush pen here. Alright, PC Back Art says, gotta finish what we started, right? Yes! Oh my gosh, it bothers me whenever I don't finish something. Like, I have one piece that I have started, or I had started, and I just haven't finished it. Actually, I may have two. And it's just been sitting in the back of my mind all the time, or if I pass by it, I'm like, it's that lingering thing that says, hey, you need to finish me, and I haven't done it. So if you guys don't mind, I mean, I want to see what you guys think, you know, if you guys want to see this on the next one to where we finish this, then I'll do that, because that would be super nice. Here I am kind of going over this white, because it's not fair that I didn't get to finish the skunk, because it seems like it's just, I mean, it's time consuming. It really is to try and do this. I mean, it doesn't go super quick. This isn't like some of those videos you see where, you know, people speed through things. I'm actually doing it live, which I'm not like fast forwarding stuff or anything like that while I spend countless hours. Definitely takes time. Lightened up that flower quite a bit. Now this is the lilac that I'm using. Defining some of these shapes in here, coming away from the flower. And that makes a really, really soft flower there. I really do like that one. And I can kind of bring this in closer so you can kind of see what I'm talking about. Just a really smooth, light flower. It's very light. Okay, so now we're going to come in here and I want to do another one. Let's do this one over here, so where we have these similar colors, but out here. Okay. So let's take the light one here. And the one thing about it too, if you feel like, okay, your flower or whatever you're doing, maybe you think, oh, well, it doesn't look that right, you know, or just something about it tells you this, just, it's a weird flower. Let's just say you're doing a weird flower and you're like, oh my God, that flower is so horrible. Just remember, if you're doing a whole bunch of flowers on here, like multiple flowers like I'm doing, and you're making it very, very busy, and that's what you call busy when you start adding in all these flowers everywhere. People aren't going to be drawn to that one flower as being a funny looking flower. I mean, you got so many flowers here that in their mind, they're just going to see it as a bunch of little nice flowers like everywhere. They're not going to be zoned into one flower. PC Back Art, me too. I have a piece to finish for my dad. Oh, yeah, I just got through doing one for my mom, and oh my gosh, I like took me forever to do, and then I put it aside, and then I'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to work on this some more, and then I work on it, then I got attached to it, and that was the hummingbird piece that ended up looking amazing. It was an acrylic piece, but absolutely love it. I fell in love with that one. But it was one of the ones that I was like, I'm not for sure. I don't really acrylic paint a whole bunch, so I was like kind of wondering why I went to acrylic paint for it. I guess I just wanted to challenge myself and see what I could do. Oh my god, love that piece, did amazing. Really impressed myself. So then I absolutely loved doing acrylic. After doing that one piece, it really made me feel very, very good that I ended up jumping over and doing the little hamster piece here. I don't know if did I show you guys the hamster basket? Or not the hamster basket. Here. I don't know if I haven't worked on it a little bit because everything was going on. But so far I've got my little weave basket that I was doing, this acrylic painting, little pumpkin, and it's a little hamster, and he's gonna be wearing a little witch's hat. But the pumpkin and a little basket. Absolutely love him. Yeah, I'm working on him. But it's getting so close to Halloween, I'm like thinking, oh my god, I'm gonna be hanging him up for Thanksgiving. So, I don't know. I kind of fell in love with doing the acrylic after just doing my mom's piece. I think, that was probably the greatest choice I made. I was thinking it would have been the worst choice because I thought, oh my gosh, I'm going to have to do a backup. I'm going to have to do it in color pencil because I don't know if I can do this. And yeah, I ended up making that beautiful hummingbird. So cute. You like that one, the little hamster? Yeah, I got the little hamster. I did a color pencil piece on here. If you guys have seen that one, it's kind of an older video that I made. But I did a hamster's vacation, and I made him basically with a little atlas or a map, and he's traveling, and I got these little, did these little pictures, and in the pictures I drew the little hamster going on a canoe, and then the other picture about him eating cheese, so he's got to take a picture of his meal, and then I put a little picture, the third picture was the little hamster standing there by a vase of flowers or a vase of flowers, just kind of saying, look, I'm taking pictures next to flowers, and it was called A Hamster's Vacation is what I called it. And then I have another piece that I did with another hamster, and it was a hamster's tea party is what I call it. And basically it's a little hamster sitting in a little teacup. He's another color pencil piece, and he is out of the teacup smelling these little bitty, what do I have, these little chocolate muffins and some flowers cascading down. And so that one there, I call it A Hamster's Tea Party. So right now I got both of my hamster's tea party and my hamster's vacation. I got them hanging up right now. So this one here was going to be a cute little addition that I was doing with the hamsters. I think I was going to call him a hamster's trick or treat. So he was actually going to be munching. Here, I'll show it one more time. I know, off subject. But right here, I kind of drew in this right here, and that's a candy corn. So he's going to be chewing on a little piece of candy corn, and this little piece right here is going to be another candy corn, and then down here I'm going to put some couple little pieces of candy corn that kind of fell to the bottom. So yeah, this is going to be a hamster's trick or treat. So that's the name that I came up with. I don't know. I got little stories of my hamsters. I don't know why. But yeah. But I definitely think that, in all reality, I think after doing that one piece for my mom, it really did help me to better understand doing my my acrylic art, paintings, and to better understand the medium a little bit more, to be able to work on it even more. And even though I did my turtle, I did one with a turtle too, and I put it on there. and it turned out really good. And then I thought, yeah, I don't know why I keep on thinking, oh, I don't know if I can do it. I just don't know if I can do it. And then I go in there and it just keeps getting better and better. And that's for everybody too. If you keep on working at it, you'll get better and better the more you practice and keep working at it. Man, that piece was so realistic, especially the little basket. Love it. Thank you. Yeah, that's the acrylic painting that I'm working on. I was gonna put it for a Patreon because I'm still working on my Patreon and been adding some videos to it, so that way I can kind of cover a slower paced videos, I guess I should say. Not something that's too, I mean, it's still longer videos, but something a little slower paced so you can watch me be able to work on it. But yeah, I do like that, like my little hamster's trick or treat. Probably be done in Thanksgiving. And then I have to do you know, I have to think of something. I have to think of something for Christmas, like do a hamster's Christmas, and I think that would be adorable. So I think that'll be my next one, is doing a painting, another painting. I'm just going to work with acrylic painting. Like, I actually really enjoying painting or acrylic paintings. Like, I think my mom's painting was such a blessing that it really inspired me to work with acrylic. And I'm going to do probably a hamster's Christmas. So it'll be the next one after this one, a hamster's trick or treat and then a hamster's Christmas. So starting my little themes here. And I'm just kind of going over this again, just kind of lightening it out, making it a little bit more of a smoother transition. Really like how this blends. You don't really have so much harsh lines. You can literally go in here and blend them. Even the darks, I can go in here and go over them and just kind of blend them out. Make them a whole lot softer. There we go. I really like the way that one is. Hold on, let's do this. I'm gonna kind of take that out. There we go. That's perfect. So if you look at this little flower, that one looks really cute. Getting those flowers in there. So now let's go ahead. We worked on this color here, so we're kind of going in sync with this one here. So now we need to go ahead, and I've also got some green leaves kind of sprouting out from this one, so that way it doesn't look like just a stick there. So we are going to fix that and make that look better. Let's do more of a peachy kind of color. So I'm going to just grab these three. I'll make the coral be the lighter one. We got a scarlet red and a deep red. So it's still going to be more of a reddish kind of color. I would say more, I got some pinks here. Actually, let's do this. I'm going to take my coral. That's a beautiful color. This one here is Pink Matter. And this one would probably be the darkest one, which is probably, let's see here, Maddie? No, middle. I can't even read anymore. Middle purple. Middle purple pink. Let's see what that looks like. Oh, that's a good color. So I'm gonna do all three of these colors here. I think that would make a cute flower. Plus the white. Or actually, hold on, we got this one here. Pale pink. Let's see. Ooh. That could be a good light color. Okay. We could do that. So I'm going to go in this order. So we're going to do pale pink as being our lightest, coral pink And then we'll go, or not coral pink, it's just coral. Pink Madder Lake. And then for a dark shadow here and there, we'll use middle purple pink. PC Beck art. My plan is to learn multiple art skills and really have art as my playground. Yes, my therapist says I'm looking better since I've gotten back into art. Awesome. See, you know what? That's amazing. And you know, some of my hardest times that I've had, like, just because I used to be I used to work away from home all the time. And while I was traveling, it got really hard being on the road all the time. I mean, it really made me sad to where I always wanted to be home and I couldn't be home. And spending a lot of time away from family was excruciatingly hard on me because I'm just like really big with my family. Like, just family means so much to me above all and everything. So when I was at work, I had to find ways to try and make myself feel better, like take my mind off of it. And it was really, really hard to try and find something that could take my mind, you know, and not have to think about sad things all the time. And so I ended up doing, like, I would take my artwork with me, like do some artwork, but it was just playing around, having fun type of doing artwork. It wasn't like, hey, I'm going to take this seriously and I'm going to actually, you know, just start teaching, you know, art. I was just doing it here and there, basically more drawing with pencils or charcoal. And then all of a sudden I kicked it into gear and said, no, you know, I want to teach. I want to do art, like, want art to be my main focal point. This is what I want to do. And then I ended up concentrating on the different mediums, working. I would learn hours upon hours. I mean, I would put into it, trying to learn every medium, trying to get the hang of it. And I put so much time into it because I had time. I mean, I was out there traveling and sometimes I would have like days, and I mean seriously days, of just sitting in the middle of nowhere with absolutely nothing else to do. And yeah, I just ended up doing art, and I think it's the best thing ever. It made me feel like I could inspire myself, but not only am I doing it for myself, I'm doing it for my family too. So it's like, I don't know, just it really helped me whenever I was on the road, I can tell you that. And being away from family. Otherwise my mind would just keep thinking about my family, and yeah, it wasn't good. So I totally get that. It can definitely help in so many ways. I'm going to put some little highlights in there. I'm not necessarily going to go and do this whole flower, but I'm just going to put in some light little highlights instead. I'll put a little bit of yellow on that. Yeah, that's really pretty. So let's do a little bit bigger right here, this flower here. So let's start with the lighter color. And I know we're pulling in some of that graphite, but that's okay. I'm just going to throw in some of this pink here. This is the coral. I don't know why I call it pink. Peachy pink coral. It's a beautiful color, it really is. I'm going to throw that in there. And then I'm going to take my mid-tone. This mid-tone color is actually pretty much as dark as I really want to go with this. Okay, taking my lighter pink. Okay, BC Pack Art, right? This is for my second to my last job, which art earlier, yeah. Aw. I know. I used to do art, like even whenever I was a kid I used to draw, and my mother would always paint. My mother, I love the way she paints. Like I always used to always look at my mom and be like, wow, she does such good paintings. I'll never be able to do that. And she still paints, even though she's like, oh, I don't paint much anymore. Well, she does paint a little bit here and there, and she does a really good job, and I love her artwork. She does way better flowers than I do, by far. Like, I love her flowers. Like, her flowers, and she does some really good ocean, like doing some of the oceanscapes and stuff like that. She does really, really good on that, too. So, like, I don't know. I had an artist for a mom, I should say. So I used to always grow up watching her do her stuff, and I never thought I could paint like that. And then I remember whenever I was out on the road traveling, I bought me some paints. Of course, it's the wrong type of paints, and I just still could not paint. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, I can't paint. It looks like, you know, like a kindergartner painted it. And then I started learning through color pencil and doing color pencil works. So I'd learn how to basically learn my colors, learn my mixing to make sure I mixed, even though I knew how to mix colors, so I knew that part, but it was just the concept of how to correct mistakes, learn how to layer. That was a good one too. Learning how to layer, how to fix your own mistakes. Because once you can fix your mistakes in each medium that you work in, just like if you work on ink, can you fix your mistakes on ink? If you work in acrylic, how do you fix your mistakes in acrylic? That way you know what to do to make it better. You could always say, hey, you know, I didn't mess up on that. I can go ahead and correct that. So learning your mistakes and how to correct them is one of the biggest things, I think, when learning how to do some artwork. Let's see here. Now we're going to do a red. I'm going to still use this coral as being my lighter color, but then I'm going to use the scarlet red and the deep red. So we're going to do some red ones here. Wait. Yeah. Hold on. Do I really want to do that? Thinking about it. Yeah. I do. I'm going to take my coral. And I'm gonna go this time. This one here, I kind of made this flower to kind of curl up. So this one here is gonna go a little bit differently. So I used that coral, but now I'm gonna use some of this red in here. And I'm just kind of sticking this in. Okay, I really like to use some of this coral on the outside of this flower too, even though and then take the deep scarlet red, and I want to make this leaf kind of look like it's turned up a little bit there. take this dark, go around the little yellow there. There we go. And then here I come back with my white. I don't know if I really want to add white in there, if I want to go in with maybe my pale pink. It's a good one. Let's do pale pink. Just to kind of blend this in right around these areas. Actually, I could have probably used my white. I might go back in and use a little bit of it just to kind of spruce up some of those highlights. Yeah. So let's take my brush on my white and we're gonna kind of make some highlights in here. There. I like that. That one ain't too bad. Not too bad. All right. Looks like in here, this one kind of lost some of its shadow. So I'm going to take this little coral and just kind of stick that in there. There we go. Stick some of these colors back in. All right. You see back art, right? And some of these kits will have you thinking you have a skill when it's the product. Yeah, yeah. Oh, when you have no skills. Yep, that's exactly right. Oh my gosh, whenever I bought, oh, it was just like some sort of Walmart, you know, brand kind of paint. And I was stuck out in the middle of nowhere. And I was like, okay, I'll just go ahead and get me a full set. It's not that much. It's cheap. Not that much. I can just buy me a whole full set. And I tell you what, the paint was so hard and so thick, or, you know, it felt like I was painting with plastic, and it was so bad. And I thought, oh my God, I can't paint. And here I was painting, and it's just, I felt like I couldn't paint. I mean, I thought it was me. And in reality, it wasn't me. It was the type of paints I was working with. And then learning how to work with those paints definitely helped out a lot too. So yes, product, believe it or not, can make a big difference in your painting. It may not be you. You may think, I don't know how to paint. Yes, you probably do, depending on what kind of paints you're using. That makes a big difference. I'm going to come in here with some of this green. Kind of get these going here on these stems. Putting in a little bit lighter of a color. I'm not making it totally perfect there neither. I mean, if you put the time into this painting, I tell you what, it definitely will come out looking so good. But you just got to focus on putting in the time with all of these colors, because I mean, there's a lot of flowers here. And also, I think I was actually going to come in here with some different colors on this flower too that I haven't quite did. I think I was going to make those a little darker. Let's see here. kind of like this chisel tip. Let's do the 1.5 nib. All right, so basically I can work on these for quite some time, doing all of these little big flowers. And I'd really like to work on the skunk. Oh. Yes, that is very true. It is dry, crusty, and yucky. Okay, so these little guys here, of course we need to make, I feel like, I'm gonna make those a little darker. There. But yeah, we got a whole bunch of these flowers to do. So let's go ahead, and I really like to jump on over an acrylic white marker. No, I am not. I am actually using still the same thing. It is the Pitt Artist Pen brush pen. So they have a white in the Pitt Artist brush pens. They just make it in a brush pen, a 1.5 nib, and then a chisel point for the same Pitt Artist brush pens. So there's still the ink pens. This is all with ink. So super, super nice that they do have those. And I'd really like to jump on over to doing the skunk. I know we're already sitting at almost 30 minutes till, or you know, till this live stream. And we haven't even gotten to the skunk. Here I'm just kind of putting in some of these darker colors along some of these leaves that I made out. was so similarly close. I will have to take a darker one than this to make the point on it. Just kind of loosely drawn in these leaves. I may end up on this here, just so if we do a live stream on this next week, because I was really hoping that we would kind of get through it. I know I had a lot of hopes. I am just going to work on this off camera and try and get a lot of these greens, a lot of these flowers in there. Since you did see me do quite a bit of these flowers, I'm going to go in here and just create all these little bitty flowers. And then I'm probably, quite possibly, going to go in here, like, let's just say, go in here, I might end up adding like another little flower here. Let's just do like one. Like right in here. Maybe do another one. Just do some small little bitty flowers. And what I'm going to do is just make this all nothing but little bitty flowers all through here, green grass, and that way whenever we come back and work on the skunk, then we can just work on just the skunk, because spending all this time on flowers, I bet you guys are probably getting sick of the flowers. I don't know. Let's see here. Let's see here. Okay, cool. Awesome. Yeah, I do like those Pitt artist pens, the white. They're pretty cool. So I'm going to do some more blues on the flowers. So let's take our lightest blue, which I said was like I used the indigo blue on it. So let's go ahead and do that. I just drew in this flower. You guys literally just watch me draw that one in, but I'd really like to make it a blue. We're going to do indigo for it, which when it's mixed in with the pencil, don't quite look like indigo, but it's okay. Now I'm going to take a mid-tone blue, indigo, and then I'm going to jump to the ultramarine. Add in some of that ultramarine kind of little lines in here. Okay. I'm going to take our light blue. Remember, just make one little streak. Try not to go over it twice, just making one layer with it. Okay. I'm going to take my darker cobalt blue. Kind of go in and around some of these shadowy areas. Okay. I forgot to put my yellow in there, so we're going to come in and hopefully not make green. There's my yellow. And then I am going to let that dry a little bit, and then we're going to do the same thing down here on this little guy. We're going to do this lighter blue violet. I think it's called blue violet. Ice blue. Oh my gosh, I'm like totally wrong. Oh, there's my, okay, so there's my violet. Light indigo. Never mind. Light indigo. Ah, it's about that time, huh, you guys? This is my ice blue. It's very pretty. I just look at the colors, and these colors are very similar. Like whenever you look at them, it's like, there it goes. Also goes very quick. Let's see here. I like the white flower because Flower was in the white flowers in Bambi. When Bambi finds him, I mean, okay, yeah. So yeah, he's in a ton of flowers, just like the movie. It's like, I don't know. And I don't know why I even chose a skunk. I really do not know why. There's like absolutely no thought that goes through my mind whenever I just pick out something. It's just like random. Like, hey, I think I'm gonna do a skunk. And there we go. We just did a skunk. Or we haven't done a skunk yet. We did partial on the skunk. We started putting in some of his layers. I promise you guys we are gonna do a skunk next week. As long as everybody is okay with me doing this for a second time live. Doing it would be part 3. Doing a part 3 on this. If everybody's okay with that. I'm going to take this white and we're going to go around, just making this a lot lighter. Around the edges. So I don't want my flower that dark. Not around the edges, but as far as the shadow goes, that's fine. You got some shadows in there, definitely leave your shadows. Okay, now I'm going to stick my yellow in there. And we are missing a stem. Peppy Le Pew. Aww. Maybe it could have been Pep. No, it's definitely flower. But still. Peppy Le Pew. How cute. I'm gonna make some lighter. I forgot about Peppy Le Pew. Kind of putting in some of these greens in here. And then we'll end up making some more, because I got this one here. Doesn't have to be perfect. We will be adding more green in there, but just different shades, because it's not all one color, just like this here. Like this color here, you know, I don't really care for it. That's the one I did with the brush, like the actual ink brush. So what I'm gonna do to change this up is I'm going to add some white to it. Of course, you know, it's gonna reactivate it. It just does on this color. On this paper here, it seriously can reactivate. If you don't think ink can reactivate, it does on here. It's like this paper is amazing. I love it. Now I just made it lighter. Wait until that dries and then we can add a different tone on that and actually bring it down a notch. So now I got some more of my blue flowers in there. I really like those blue flowers. So let's add some darker blues. So instead of going with the super lighter colors, I'm going to start out with more of the richer colors, like these here. So basically I'm taking away my two lighter colors that I was with, and now I'm going to stick with three more darker colors. I guess that makes sense, right? Let's try it. Okay. And then the darker. Actually, I think I want to take it a step darker and use the endotherine blue. I can't even say it. It's really hard. I think they purposely make these things so where you can't pronounce them. It's like, hey, let's see how good you are. Okay, let's take this lighter blue again. It's not really a lighter blue, but it is a lighter than the other blue. That's my chisel. I don't really care for the chisel much. I'd really like to add some lighter color to my yellow there. And then do some lighter edges around here using my 1.5 nib. There we go. I like that. So we'll do that all over again. Just gonna go around the edge with this ultramarine. Going up to the next step, which is basically like cobalt blue. And since my other one was really not that dark, it was the, I tried to use the phthalo blue being a little darker, but it just didn't seem that way. I'd really like to go to that one name I cannot pronounce, like endotherine blue or something, and use it for more or less my shadow. Here. Go back to my ultramarine, kind of fill in this little areas. Okay. And then going to my 1.5 nib to kind of go around the outside edges in here. And then also just a little bit for my yellow. Okay, so now we got some a little bit darker of a blue, but I still, as you can see, got a ton more flowers to do in here. They're just crazy amount. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I got like 13 more flowers to go. And then I've got probably more flowers, more greenery, of course, to do, which I will end up doing that on kind of like my own time, so that way I'm not having to do this nothing but flowers for you guys and leaves. We are going to work on the skunk on the next live stream. Just kind of throwing in some of these colors. It's really nice to have a variety of different colors. Yeah, except for there. That's the one I was going to fix. Take a lighter green to it. Probably look better if we overlapped. We just kind of overlap this. And just kind of blending these greens. These are different types of greens. This one here is a May green. And I mean, I can stick some other colors in here, just kind of give the illusion of a little bit of a shadow, maybe some texture. And that's still using that name I cannot pronounce, like the Ethiopian blue or whatever. I'm still using that with my greens because I can add shadow with blue for a green. Kind of pull that down just a little bit in there. There. And then again with my lighter color green. Let's just say, like with this here, this leaf here, so basically I put in my highlight just by adding some of this white and going over the top of it. Coming down a little bit there. That one's probably not ready for it yet, but you can add this white to make more of a highlight, like on your little leaf. So you got that white kind of streaming through there, a little bit of white on this side. Just adding that on top of your green. So I know we got plenty more to do on these little leaves. Throw in some multiple colors here. Just our little leaves there. Probably have to go in there and add some more shadows and more highlights just to kind of break those up a little bit more. So then we're going to go in and do some more on the flowers. We got about 15 minutes more of working on these flowers. And then let's just go ahead and do, like, I know we've done a lot of these little ones. Maybe just do one more of these. And then that way I can go ahead and take over next week or before next week's live stream and have all these little flowers just incorporated into this. And then working, like I said, directly on the skunk. I just wish that we could have made it to the skunk. Oh my gosh. I was really, really hoping for that. And it didn't happen. Here, we're going to do one here. Let's do pale pink. We're going to use a lot of these paler colors. Is that really a thing? I think that's a thing. Let's do pale pink. Let's do ice blue. Not indigo. Okay, I'm going to use 3 pale colors to make up a flower. I don't know the concept of this, just feel like doing something wacky and wild. 3 pale colors, a whole lot of water soluble graphite on here. This ought to be fun. It's either that or stick one vibrant color in there. Maybe we should do a vibrant one. We'll do a vibrant one, but the same concept. We had a pale pink, an ice blue, and a lilac. Those are really, really pale colors. Let's try doing those same 3 colors except more vibrant. Let's do crimson as the purple. Blue, I like the ultramarine. Is it the ultramarine or the ultramarine? Yeah, let's do ultramarine. Actually, let's do cobalt. And then I had a pink. Let's do middle purple pink. I want to make sure they're not really close. We're going to do something wild on this flower. More vibrant, but I don't want the colors to be similar. That's too similar for me. Let's take and throw that one out. Let's do maybe deep red. I don't know, I like the other red. Maybe a scarlet red. Yeah, these are not really that vibrant. I want a scarlet. Let's do scarlet. There we go. Let's try these. I want to end it with something fun. So let's do blue in the center. Let's do scarlet on the outside. And I know I got these flowers in the back, but I want to try and do the front ones first. That one's tucked in there. I'll be able to see the blue. Okay. Had my whole nose and everything up in there. Just noticed that. If you guys don't mind seeing my whole nose, let me turn that just a little bit. You guys are probably just like, oh my gosh, we're getting a good eye view of your nose. This is what's really fun, is that you can kind of make up your flowers any which way you want. Okay. And then let's take a really dark, that same color that I cannot pronounce, indigo blue or whatever. Let's do that and kind of give this some sort of dark shadow. Definitely got some different colors. I like to mix colors and make my own flowers as well. But the good thing about nature and art, you do what you want. Yes, exactly. So just have fun with it. That's what I think. Just have fun with it. I'm going to take purple. Okay. And then I'm going to take blue. And just remember, this paper here, I like it because I can actually go back in, and if I have any rough edges, like where it's really like harsh lines, should I say, harsh lines. If I have any harsh lines that I want to get rid of, I can end up getting rid of those and smoothing them out. So I will come back to that. I think I'm going to smooth them out with my more of my pastel, or not my pastel colors, but like my ice blue I could use, or I can end up going over it with my pale pink. And I'm thinking my pale pink might work out better, so let's just see. It is a scarlet red, but for some reason it just doesn't have that pop that I'm wanting on that red. So I may end up going back over the red to add that pop. That I'm really wanting. Let's do deep red. Because that scarlet almost looked like a little bit too much of an orangey color for me than a red. I mean, I'm not, if I do have some of it showing, I'm just going to let it show through, but I definitely want the red in there. I don't mind it turning pink, but it was turning a little bit orangey for me. Okay. Looks to me like our white or our yellow in the center kind of dulled down, so I'm going to come in here and just add a little bit of white. There we go. A little bit of a white highlight to the edges on these. Stick of the brush then. Leave more of a smoother transition there, and I know we're probably, we're only just a few minutes till the end of this, but I definitely want to get this flower looking up to par. funny because I always think of those oh my gosh, can't even talk anymore. The popsicles, like the 4th of July popsicles that we have over here, the red and white little icicle pops, for some reason is starting to remind me of that. Here we go. So now we get this cute little flower. Oh yeah, the red, white, and blue popsicles. I've seen them but haven't had one. Are they good? Different flavors? They're, I don't know. I think they're the type of popsicles that are just for, I don't really care for them much. It's like, I don't know. They're definitely different. They're not like if you take an all cherry and an all, I don't even know what the white is. Maybe it's like coconut. I don't even know what it is. Like, it's a very acquired taste, I would say. Like, if it were me telling somebody if they like it, it's an acquired kind of thing. Like, I don't know. I don't even know how to describe it, to be honest with you. But it definitely looks like those little icicle pops. But yeah, I'm probably going to do a little bit more to this one. Just kind of add a little bit more shadow, a little bit more depth. Maybe add just a little bit of color in there. And probably bring this one out, like add some more depth in there. So anyways, I think my time is up on this. I will be working more on the flowers, just trying to get all this done, and then the rest of it, and so that way all we got left is just to do the skunk, so that way we can move on to a mixed media piece. And I'm not for sure exactly what type of mixed media piece we might do. I don't know if we'll do maybe we could even do like an acrylic painting and then do oil on top, like our final layer doing oil. We could end up doing, you know what, I've been wanting to do an experiment with something, and see that guy, oh no, not that. Yeah. Pretty much that explains it. I don't know. Anybody else like those red, white, and blue? I think it's just like kind of like how a lot of people don't like candy corn, but some people like candy corn, but other people don't like candy corn. But yet candy corn is just the thought that you get whenever you have Halloween. You think candy corn, and some people think it's like tastes like Crayolas, like chewing on Crayolas. I don't know. I like candy corn. I've always had it since I was a kid, but I don't even know if I can even place it out as being candy corn. But if you got like 4th of July, you think 4th of July pops. But I don't know. They're just, they're okay. Meh. Meh. There we go. It's up to you on that one. So I don't know for sure. I'll eat anything. So I mean, if it was the last thing I had, I would eat it. So it's not a problem. So anyway, so yep, I think we've already went over our time. Yeah, it was a good live stream, and I'm hoping to get this here all done. We'll work on the skunk next week if you guys can just bear with me and not be like, okay, that's it, I'm done. She's been painting on this skunk forever. But we will end up moving on to something different after we get this one done. I'll speed it up by doing this later. Skunk next week, and then after that, the following week, let's go ahead and do a mixed media. Let's do an acrylic painting, do an acrylic background, and let's do an oil painting on top of it. So that way we kind of speed things up a little bit with the oil painting. That definitely does help if you do it that way. With oil painting, if you don't like the time, you have to wait. So let's go ahead and plan on that. And I'm guessing, yeah, I guess that will be a wrap for now. And I hope you guys enjoyed this. I know it's very time consuming, but please leave a like and subscribe. Definitely, I'll tell you the truth, if you guys are new subscribers to this channel, there will be more than just the skunk and flowers. I promise you, we'll do something fun. Unless you are enjoying the skunk and flowers, I'm not for sure. So you're live once a week on Tuesdays. Yes, on Tuesdays. Every Tuesday, once a week, Tuesdays live stream. So I used to always post like just regular videos, but then I tried out doing live streams, and yeah, it's definitely been a lot of fun because I can interact with you guys and see what everybody likes or doesn't like, and we can kind of choose what we want to do too. That helps out with doing the voting thing where you take a vote on what you want to do for a medium. So yeah, so next after the skunk, we're going to do a mixed media. So yeah, moving on to that. And thank you, PC Back Art, for joining in our live stream. PC Back Art, like I say, she has a art YouTube site. Go check out PC Back Art's YouTube site. So, and check her out. Oh, is it, when is your, I don't know for sure when you have your live streams or when you do your live streams, but yeah, check her out. She's awesome. So I'll see you all next week, and thanks for joining. Bye, you guys. If I know how to click it, because it's been so long. Been 1 week missed. All right, bye, you guys.